Don't get in over your head. You see new entrepreneurs come in here all the time. Some, they don't know what they want to do. And then, and like, well, what kind of real world experience do you have with that business that you're about to invest?
Yeah.
Out west where the sun always beams bright. Midland skies keep the hustle in sight. BAM Consultants got the blueprint intact. For dreamers on the grind, they got your back. Championing dreams from the ground to supreme. Providing that spark, igniting the team. Marketing flow strategies that glean. BAM in Midland, building your dream. They teach
Bam.
Gotta hear it. Gotta hear it.
That's what I'm gonna say. Every time you call, well, say it, man.
Say it. That's how I go, like, say it.
Ricky Barrientes.
Yes, sir. In the house.
AKA Ricky B.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Man, you know, we known each other for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Hot minute, man. It's been a long time, man, since back in the day we had in our previous lifetimes, right?
Yes. In the previous lifetimes. And we'll go over some of that stuff.
We'll go through that for sure.
Yeah,
man.
we're definitely going to go over some of that stuff. So, yeah.
But right now, man, Trap House Coffee.
Yes, sir. Oh, man. I started the Trap House Coffee back in 2016. So we're looking at 9 years next month of me actually launching it.
Yeah.
9 years of it. You know, one thing that I told myself, go around with this business, I was going to do it a certain way. I wasn't going to go get into no big old rush. I wasn't going to go seek outside funding. I wasn't going to go take a mortgage out on the house. I wasn't going to do all of the things that I've done previous before. When you knew me, man, I was able to talk, people to open up their safety deposit boxes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they panties off too while I was at it, man. Good talker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I produced results.
Right.
And back then I was married and I had the kids and all that stuff. So I didn't want to sink it to a level to where I had done previous things for literally decades. At that point, I had already been, you know what? We're in 2025, August 2025. I started venturing off into my own ventures with friends or whoever 30 years ago this week. 30 years ago this week. So I already had about 21 years in, you know, marketing and sales and promoting and starting things up from the ground up, from concept to reality. I'd already had 21 years worth of it. You know, 21 years of experience of what happens if, you know, whenever you met me, I was in the music business. I was probably 5, 6, 7 years in it. And I had some great mentorship around whenever we met. And that was one of the things that I was taught was, you're only big as your last hit. People are like, what have you done for me lately? You know, where's your customer base at? Is your customer base is as real as you think it is? And how do you sustain them things? I learned that as a young man in my early 20s, 20, 21, 22, 23.
Yeah.
And got to see exactly what he was talking about. I got to see, you know, some days where we're splitting a burrito because that's all the money we got. We're walking because there's not enough gas to make sure we can insure to the next check.
Yeah.
Without digging into safety deposit boxes or pawn and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Being as responsible, but like, hey, man, I can make it through this without digging too deep in. And I remember those things. I remember those things from years before, you know, 15 years before or so. And I was like, all right, I got 4 kids. Yes, I make great money. Yes, I don't have a whole lot of bills. Yes, I don't have a whole lot of overhead. How do I keep it that way? Whenever I started the Premier Fight Series, man, I was, we had to take out a mortgage because we lost big on our first show. Oh man, it was 20 grand had to pay back in 18 months.
Yeah.
You know, there was man, I mean, you think real hard about that. And that was, you know, 4 years before. So I had to question not just myself, but I was questioned
right
about Are you sure
Mhm.
you know what you're doing?
Right.
I've seen you do this before. I've seen you do some really great things, but what if not everybody likes your coffee? Not everybody listens to that. Not everybody's open to the criticism.
Mhm.
You know, I remember back in the day, I would hear, we all wish we were a one hit wonder because at least, we got to live the $1 million,
Right.
sales, the
Yeah.
all that good stuff. And then you could cash out and move on to a bigger venture, or we could watch these other people who were one hit wonders and where are they now?
Yeah.
So I had a lot of them stories and I ran into a lot of them people and I got to hear their stories. If I had to do it over again, Trap House Coffee was not my first venture into doing any business. It was my first venture to be very calculated with it.
Mm.
Start with,
Right.
where I have a minimal investment.
Yeah.
Don't go building from the ground up. Don't
Yeah.
go invest my life savings. Don't go take out a mortgage. Don't make more bills. I had 4 kids
Right.
living under the same roof and they like to eat really good. They like their trips.
Right.
They like to
Yeah.
be on the beach.
Yeah.
Nowadays they like to put gold on their food. My son told me my little girl put gold on her chicken because that's what they do. I buy them gold and they put the gold leaf on it. You would think that they're cowboy prime, but this is what they're accustomed to. So I had to think of these things. Do not take away from their quality of life.
Mm.
It's
That's
not
what you're
fair
saying,
to
yeah.
them. So when I started small. I went and got some coffee from a local roaster out of Austin. And then I got some from a different place. And I was like, okay, let me try this out and see how it does. Instead of going and buying a roaster, instead of buying all this crazy equipment, I bought simple bags, I bought simple labels, I bought the stuff to make a private label.
Mhm.
Started off private
Right.
label originally. When I first started, people saw Trap House Coffee, they thought it was a joke because I would get on
Right.
Facebook for a very long time making like fake businesses. You know what I'm
Ah.
saying? That were funny. I mean, and
Yeah.
it's funny, like Express Sancho services,
Right.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
Express Rapture services or whatever. But people always knew that like I was serious, like with the Premiere Fight series, with the music, with the ring announce and
Yeah.
stuff, with me and my buddies had ended up getting the alcohol law changed to we ended prohibition in Andrews type of stuff. So I
Yeah.
already had a track record
Already.
of if I'm willing to do something enough, it's real enough. But the name, people thought it was a satire business, a satire deal. I don't know what was going on through my head back whenever I would make satire businesses, just making jokes.
Right.
One of them that I done way back was like OnlyFans. I'm not gonna say the name,
Mhm.
but I was like, I'm start up a site. This was before OnlyFans was big, before even people knew about the stuff. And I had just took out a domain to compete with it, and I didn't think it'd take off. But look where we're at now. There's people making a lot of money doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Back then, whenever I started with as an artisan roaster before, I was like, let me make sure I could at least build a name and sustainable and scale up and get customers before I start sinking money into a roaster.
Yeah. So why coffee? Like, why?
Not
Well, no, yeah, why not? But why?
why coffee? Well, first and foremost, it is one of the top traded commodities worldwide. At the time when I was doing my research and
Yeah.
development of all this, it was the number 2 traded commodity worldwide, right behind oil.
Mm.
Well, it only made sense because I was like, do I make beer? Do I make wine? What am I
You
going to
were
do?
looking. You wanted.
I wanted something. I wanted to get into something, and I already understood like in the food businesses, like say owning a grocery store has a highest turnover rate of inventory
Mhm.
worldwide.
Right.
You're undefeated.
Right.
That's why you saw these larger grocery stores take over the smaller mom and pop shops, the neighborhood
They could
stores and things of
absorb
that nature. They could
the
absorb
waste.
because they had already made enough money to where they could be like, okay, we could scale up, and then nobody goes and shops at them guys no more, and then somebody else will come by. I've watched it. Our first day job was at a grocery store.
It's like the Walmart effect,
Yes.
right? Buy in bulk,
Yes.
spread it out.
Yeah.
Lower the
Exactly.
price.
And lower the price. And they were able to do that. The guy that I originally started working for back in 1995, shoot, it would have been my second, third day right now if we went back 30 years ago.
Crypto inflection point. The rise of infrastructure over speculation and hype. Money doesn't wait. Neither should we. To most, crypto still feels like a speculative sideshow. But quietly, the story has changed. But the noise is fading, and what's emerging beneath it is more serious and far more powerful. We're now entering crypto's infrastructure era. Infrastructure, the hidden engine of every revolution. Real breakthroughs do not go viral. They are not superficial. They go deep. That's the inflection point crypto is at right now. With all this information on the importance of necessity of sound infrastructure in mind, you might be wondering, who's building for this moment? Enter Texacoin, TXC, a script-based mineable layer 1 blockchain that reflects everything this infrastructure moment is about. TXC is not a speculative play. It is designed as infrastructure-first protocol engineered for performance, accessibility, and decentralization. The vision is simple. Establish the base layer through distributed mining across the state of Texas and empower Layer 2 builders to create real applications with utility beyond speculation. Anchor the ecosystem in people, not centralized validators, antiquated institutions, or gatekeepers. Join the conversation. The Black Gold Energy community meets every Monday evening, both in person and virtually. Texacoin is gathering momentum block by block, and we are the movement in the Permian Basin. Want to learn more? Bring your curiosity, skepticism, or questions to one of our weekly Monday night meetups, 6 to 8 at BAM headquarters. Or join virtually. The Google Meet will be in the event description. It's not a pitch. It's not a crypto meetup. It's a table for builders, thinkers, and doers. It's open to anyone with the curiosity to explore.
Guy, very smart guy. He had one store. His store originally, when it was his dad's, it was a small corner store like the supermercado type of the little bitty ones. You know which
Yeah.
ones I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That are around town, and they're not big. That's how all the little markets were
right.
before Furs came into Andrews. Piggly Wiggly was around and
Wow,
stuff, but
Piggly Wiggly.
these
bro.
people had their
Yeah.
customer service was top tier.
Mm,
So they were able to go from the smaller little bitty market to a bigger market. And then when Furs went defunct, they got the bigger building. Whenever they ended up redoing that building, little by little, they started buying other grocery stores. They sold out to Lowe's not too long ago, but a lot of the HTOs that you see around are theirs.
Oh, wow.
Not all of them, but
Yeah.
a lot of them.
Okay.
So there's a lot of money in tea. There's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of money in beverages.
Yeah.
Tea overtook coffee not too long ago. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? I'm not going to go venture into tea because I'm like, ooh, squirrel.
Right.
You know,
right.
because we all do that. We all do
Uh-huh.
that. That's the thing of sticking to a certain
Right.
pattern.
Yeah.
A certain pattern. And I always talk about it. One of your favorite terms for you to hear me say is Fibonacci and Seneca curve.
Yeah.
You know, in the scale and the growth and all that stuff like that, and where somebody's at with it.
Right.
So with me starting small scale, going and buying just the labels, just the bags,
Right.
it was going to cost me so much per bag. When I first started selling the coffee, I couldn't hardly even give it away because people thought I was playing. They thought
Right.
they thought something was
Yeah.
sideways with it
Yeah.
and stuff, regardless, because I had
What's
never
in this coffee.
yeah,
Ricky?
because I had never
Yeah.
ventured off into the food things.
Right.
They'd watch me cook on Facebook or whatever
Yeah.
and stuff, or me with my kids or
Yeah.
whatever. But I was not known for that. And I knew that,
Mm.
you know, and I was like, okay, I'm known for music. I'm known for MCing. I'm known for ring announcing. I'm known for throwing concerts. I'm known for a lot of different things. I'm not known for coffee.
Right.
And I remember that. But I also remember some stuff like whenever I would see different athletes, like my kids would ask me back in like 2012, well, what are they going to do after this fight? Or are you going to still be around and help them out? And I'm like, Mijo, I don't chew people up and spit them out. If I have an opportunity to hand them, that's what I do. I've had more once in a lifetime opportunities that I was able to hand people than anybody I know personally as an individual in so many different realms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you've been there. You've been the benefactor of like, it looked like a gatekeeper, but there's rules to engagement. There's
Right.
rules of engagement and everything. Like, man, if you want to get through that door right there, this is what's going to hold on. Let me stop you. We're all
Right.
excited. I'm excited that you're here and I'm
Yeah.
excited, but we got this raw energy. We're young. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain some things. It's going to be exactly how it is and nothing different.
Right.
This is what it takes to be there. And I had to follow them rules for years
Right.
before I ended up getting my position. This is how it works. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Regardless of if how it was presented. So with the coffee, I start selling it. And then I send some to a few people out of town. I get some to some friends and family, and they're like, man, this is pretty good. And you know, I was like, I don't know, I think it was like 2-3 days in, and then one buddy, and he was like, man, Ricky, I believe in you because I've watched you do all these things. I've watched you come so far. And how much inventory you got? And I told him what I had, and he bought it. That was in my 3rd day in.
Hmm.
He bought it all. And I was like, okay, I've been cash positive since that day. 9 years ago this September. Cash positive 3 days in.
Yeah.
I go get nicer labels. I go get nicer bags because I'm already cash positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start looking into getting my own roaster and stuff like that. You know how the internet works? They kind of, you know, people, I'm not too sure about it or whatever. And then that one good review, you feel like you go viral. You feel like you've made it. But then we'll get to the sustainability after that.
Yeah.
Somebody had got some of my coffee and they drank some for New Year's. And they were like up until like 7 in the morning. And they had stopped drinking alcohol about 11:30. Then the whole party was drinking my coffee. And they had posted later on that day, they said, Rick, what did you put in that coffee? I was like, man, it's really good, huh? And they're like, no, bro, what did you put in the coffee? We were up all night. The sun came up.
Still go.
We were still going, and it was, what did you put in your coffee? It was like, no, it's really good coffee. So I started explaining to them the difference between fresh coffee versus coffee that you go buy at the store.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's whole bean, it's going to be so fresh.
Mm.
And at that point, I ended up getting like a fresh batch in. And then I put them their bags together. It was still private label at that time. But they got it as soon as I got it.
Right.
So it was probably 4 days old.
It wasn't
4
sitting
days
in
old.
no warehouse.
No.
for weeks.
It was at peak.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so because they roasted on Wednesday. I got it that Saturday, and then I got it to them Saturday night.
Mhm.
So it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days in.
Yeah.
And then New Year's hits, and then they're like, wow. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm telling you, bro, I'll get some really good coffee. I'm doing the private label thing right now, and I'm on my own stuff going. They're like, bro, customers for life. I've had them customers since that day.
All
Now
right.
I could call them right now, and they'll be like, bro, you're
Yeah.
missing out if you're not having this
Yeah.
coffee. So then I ended up having a few other people down the road. They picked up some coffee, and one guy, he said, man, I finally figured out how to drink your coffee. Another viral type of post.
Yeah.
And he said, I use Maxwell House in half of your coffee and I can handle it. He cut it. He cut it.
Cut it.
And this is a preacher. You know what I'm saying? A really great guy. He's in construction and stuff, but then he probably ran around like Hitler whenever he didn't cut it.
Yeah.
You know, it had effect on people when there's really good coffee,
Yeah.
whenever it's really fresh.
It
coffee.
is. Yeah. Especially when you make it with your machine.
Yes. Oh, my machine. Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
get to that.
Yeah. It's like creamy, malty.
Oh,
like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. That's what I try show people, because whenever I come to Midland and people are like, well, there's all these coffee shops and blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't understand you don't understand how to get the oils up. You don't understand that, like, some of the things that you're drinking, they're not fresh. They don't have as much caffeine. They've probably burnt all of the good stuff out of it or whatever, or it's sat too long or whatever.
Yeah.
People don't understand it. Me, I'll pop with this machine and look like I'm jacking the beanstalk or something, you know. I
Yeah.
got the golden egg, bro, you know.
Yeah.
To some of these people, like, how'd you do it? I'm like, a lot of research and development.
Yeah.
A lot of it,
Yeah.
you know, 9 years worth.
Right.
9 years worth.
And hands-on, right?
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
you did your research, like, okay,
Yeah.
what coffee, right? So you go read a book, you go scour the internet, right?
Yeah.
You're getting all the information
Yeah.
you can, right? But then you actually, hey, let me put it's
Yeah.
hands-on
Yeah.
research, right? And you learn a lot more that way,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Where it's more impactful,
Yes, sir.
right?
So like whenever I bought first roaster, I started roasting and we went viral again. We're making, I don't know how many hundreds of bags a week. It was
Wow.
very overwhelming, very
Yeah.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I was like, going through a divorce and all that stuff. And it told on me.
Yeah.
I get the coffee the same anymore.
Mm.
But I remember the things that I always tell my kids, and how I teach them and watching through example.
Yeah.
I take a lot of pride in it because I have to. Because if they don't see me do it, I can't expect anybody else to teach them that.
Right.
It's a consistency, be there for your customers and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know, so some people just wasn't able to keep up with their demands. It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming, and my machine that I had just wouldn't be able to keep up with what I had at that time. You know, but I was like, okay, I've got all of these things going on in my life. I cannot afford to scale up at this time, divorce, and oh man, child support is $2,300 a month, and the new girlfriend probably costed more than that. And, you know, gas back and forth to Odessa to go see my kids 10 times a month, and all these extra costs that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
And it was very expensive, very expensive. And
This whole time you still in a job.
yeah, full time. Yeah.
Right.
80 to 100 hour a
Yeah.
week. Yeah. Oil field, super
Right.
demand full and stuff. But by that time I had one of my friends, he had popped up. He was homeless. He was living in his car, and I let him stay with me. And I showed him how to roast. I showed him why we're gonna do it certain things this way, and we got timing down, and the looks, the smells, the taste, everything. We burned one batch ever together. You know, I've burned a few since by myself.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Experiment.
gonna be some experiment. There's gonna
Yeah.
be some experiment, because if you push the coffee to a
Right.
different level, there's gonna be some consequences. If I mean, you could miss it by 10 seconds. If you don't hit that cooling process at the right time, whenever you got that stuff my brand was known for, it was like the black crack, liquid crack.
Yeah.
It's black, it's super, the oils are
Yeah.
crazy in it. And you've seen some of
Yeah.
it. You're like, it's in my cup.
Yeah.
What would you do? It's just bro.
Yeah.
And you had to look at it a few times before you understood. You were like,
Right.
hey, no, real coffee.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so you've seen exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
So to make that magic happen, it's very meticulous. It's very intricate. You know,
It's an art.
yes,
Skilled,
yes.
a skilled art.
Yes, sir. And that was a lot of the that I had took as like the coffee roasters. It's the artisan. It's real artsy. It's a to roast the coffee the way
Right.
that I do. There are roasters around and stuff, and if they take it as serious as me, they understand as
Right.
well. So I would take the how I would do mine through trial and error. Okay, this is gonna do this. This is gonna do this. This is gonna do this, and I would be upfront with my customers. Okay, this one I've done this to it. This one I've done that to it. This
Right.
one you know, these are the things that I would do. And my customers would be like, the freshness was key though.
Right.
They loved that it was super fresh.
Right.
Nobody ever said, hey man, that batch right there.
Right.
It just ain't
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
So when you get beans, they're still green.
they're green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're green.
Yeah.
They're
and depending on how you roast it,
yes.
it's like the dark roaster, that's the blonde, or
Yeah.
however.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The people ask for an espresso bean because it doesn't exist.
Right. It's how
It's in how you process it and stuff. And you know, sure, there's city roast and French roast and all
Right.
these little niche things, and people want to do hazelnuts. I'm like, hold on,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm just gonna do one thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a set of beans, stuff like that. It's not that serious, but I make sure that my customers have the best available coffee at all times,
Yeah.
at the freshest peak that they can possibly get.
Right.
You know, when somebody else roasts, they might roast 6,500 pounds at a time. How long did it sit there? Somebody could hit me up on demand and say, hey, I need 5 bags. I need 2 bags. I'll make it on demand because my mic was that high,
Wow.
that high. You
Yeah.
know, like I take that seriously. Like you're not just pop up and be like, oh yeah, man, oh let me get some of that coffee. It's not sitting there.
Right.
It's not sitting there.
Yeah.
It-
Because that's
it-
the whole point
yeah,
of what you're doing.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's in
Stores
coffee.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the stores do. And I'm, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that one day I won't open up a coffee shop and have sit there, but I'll monitor real closely.
Right.
Be like, okay, this store gets and I'll be able to roast these days
Yeah.
to be able to keep up with this is all they do.
Mhm.
This is all they do. You
Right.
know, when it hits a certain date, I'm like, hey, pull it off. You can take
Right.
it home. I don't care, but we ain't not selling it.
Right.
We're not selling it. We're not gonna do this. Not what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. Like I've got K cups. I make K cups.
Yeah,
I've
was
implemented that
cool.
stuff down
Yeah.
the road. I started that in 2019 because I got tired of people asking.
Ah,
You know, people will do certain things.
yeah.
I didn't give in to hazelnut, but I gave in to K cups. You know,
That makes sense.
it does.
Everybody's on the Keurig.
Yeah,
Everybody got,
yeah.
you know, it's
And-
convenience.
In 2016, not everybody was.
Right.
Not everybody
Right.
was. And then in 2019, it became economical, but not time efficient.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I gotta be
Oh,
meticulous to
gosh, bro. Everything about this coffee's meticulous.
Yeah.
You go ask the guys at 12 Gate or Far West Coffee or Leyenda. Ask some guys how meticulous this stuff is.
Yeah.
They're going to give you that same face that I did. They're very serious and passionate about their
Right.
coffee. If
Right.
they're not, they're like, oh man, yeah. Man, do you go to one of these big places, bro?
Right.
You're not gonna get artisan coffee.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you don't want artisan coffee, I get it.
Yeah.
If you think it's worth the price, I get it. I understand that
Right.
stuff. If you want like a superior cup of coffee, you holler at me or one of the guys that I just mentioned.
Right.
You know, they're not my competition. I don't compete against them. I have my own customers. I've got 9 years worth of a customer.
Yeah.
You know, I know the other day, whenever they had the founders,
Yeah.
you know, they thought I was trying to challenge him. I was just asking him about his process and
Yeah.
all that stuff and what he felt and his views were and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, there was no need to challenge the guy, no reason to compete. He's got his own bills he's got to compete against.
Yeah.
He's got his own family he's got to feed.
Yeah.
He's got his own everything that he's got to worry about instead of me talking about, no, my coffee's better. It's
Right.
not, no, compete.
Yeah.
We don't compete. We
Yeah.
congratulate.
There you go,
We
man.
build each other up. We
Yeah.
lift each other up.
100%.
You know, it's the only way that I like to do things, man.
100%.
You know,
You know, and it seems like when we put our hand out,
Yeah.
right, to the competition,
Yeah.
right, it's like, oh, why ain't there a competition? Like,
Yeah.
why, like, man, that's a big world.
it's a big word.
It's a big world, man. You know, and when it rises, we are with it,
Mm.
right? You know, like when COVID happened,
Yeah.
right? It was hard for everybody.
Oh my
It's hard
God.
for everybody, right?
Not me. I went fishing for 10 weeks.
Man.
Let's do it again.
Gee. Oh, you Ricky B go fishing though, man. No, but it thing because there was restaurateurs here.
Yes.
They were really suffering,
Oh yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Because couldn't operate,
Yeah.
right? But the limited capacity in which you could operate,
Yeah.
all right, great. But now you got to think about your supply chain.
Yes. And I was a truck driver at that time. So yes, it's
yeah.
got to get there somehow.
Got to get there somehow,
Somehow.
right?
Ah.
But now how much? And then like the logistics are raw.
Oh
All
yeah.
the numbers are screwed
Yeah.
now because
Yeah.
we don't need as much as we used to because we
Uh-huh.
don't have the traffic. Okay, so say you run out of something, and this
Mhm.
was like one of the first podcasts I brought him up earlier. Former Mayor Morales, right? He owns a restaurant,
Yeah.
and there's other restaurateurs that had ran out of chips, right? Well, they called me, and Jerry's like, "I got you,
Yeah.
right? Here's some chips, right?" Because Jerry's thinking is we can't let anybody fail,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like you don't want your competition
No.
to fail.
No.
You want them to do good,
Yes.
right? Because they do good. That means there's plenty of
Yeah.
market for you to do good,
Yes, sir.
right? And
Yes,
there's
sir. Yes, sir.
right. You're different from 12 gate.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
everybody's different, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna, like you said, you got your customer
Yeah.
base, and that's your target market,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the simplistic view, right? Oh, it's coffee.
Car's a car. Tire's a
car's
car.
a-
What about your shoes? What about your purse? I'm gonna find something that it's not
Right.
whatever. Oh, that bottle of water. Oh, it's whatever. Hey, we gonna find something.
Water.
We're gonna find something.
Water.
And them are some of the things that I wanted to talk about instead of just the coffee and the
Yeah.
reasoning behind it. the logistics of things.
Yeah.
The logistics of things. It's like all a pyramid scheme from on down to the consumer.
Here we
And
go.
all of that money comes up here.
Yeah.
And we forget about all of the people in the middle.
Yeah.
We see who finds the logistics, i.e. Amazon, eBay, Walmart.
Right.
These that control supply chain logistics.
Right.
Uber, they don't own a car, but they're
Mm.
making almost 50% of your fare. Okay. DoorDash, they don't own your car, but they're making a big of your what you're paying.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Amazon, they don't own my product, but I'm not gonna be taxed by you, homeboy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going like that because
Yeah.
I pyramid.
Mhm.
So I'd rather be like, hey, I'd like to support that guy. I'm from Andrews, Texas. Shop local, support local. I'm small
Right.
town USA, and I believe in that.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I'll go down to 12 Gate and I'll go buy some coffee from them. I'll go check it out. Hey, man, I hope continue to do good.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do that, one of the things that'll end up happening is they could end up losing faith or whatever it is. The lady that I bought my machine from, my 3E, that lady, she just went out of business completely, closed her doors, you know,
Yeah.
because she started up here or in the middle or whatever,
Mhm.
and she couldn't stay in business.
Right.
She couldn't afford to stay in business. She invested much too soon, thought they knew it, and they started running into these real life obstacles. I've done that before.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh, how come didn't nobody tell me?
Right.
How come didn't nobody tell me it was like this? It was like,
Yeah.
should have done your research. Start
Right.
small, always tell everybody. I'm like, hey, don't get in over your head.
Yeah.
Don't get in over your head. You see
Yeah.
new entrepreneurs come in here all
Right.
the time.
Right.
Some, they don't know what they want to do. And then,
Right.
and like, well, what kind of real world experience do you have
Right.
with that business that you're about to invest in?
Mhm. Yeah.
This episode of BAM BizTalk is brought to you by Flash Mobile. Whether you're managing your business, chasing your dreams, or just handling life on the go, Flash Mobile gives you nationwide for GLTE coverage. No contracts and total freedom, all at a price that makes sense. Activate your plan in minutes. Bring your own device. Stay in control wherever life takes you. Contact us and make the switch today. And now let's get back to today's show.
So many, there's span the
Yeah.
gamut, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of them are like, yeah, this great idea.
Oh, I love a great idea.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that great idea, right? Okay, so 10,000 square foot building, that's what you're gonna need off the bat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, let's
Yeah.
go down that road.
Ah.
Right? Let's travel. Let's this imaginary
Yeah. Yeah.
ride down that road. Oh, wow. You know, as soon as I signed a dotted line for that money I have to pay in 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You gotta
Every
pay the
30
pipe.
days.
And then every 30
And then the electricity
And
and the
then-
water and the inventory and the overheads
Oh, wait, first you still have to remodel.
and the napkins and oh yeah.
Oh, set it up.
Yeah.
So that means you got to tear down whatever's there. Then you got to build up what you need.
Yeah.
Right? How much is that going to cost?
Yeah.
Right? Oh, but you're still having to pay.
Mhm.
You're not getting anything
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
right? So how do we make sure that you're set? Like you're good, right? All right, 2,000 square foot building, right? It's not, but you can make it work,
Mhm.
right? You may have to grind. You may have to put in that hustle and figure out,
Yeah.
right? You have to figure out how that 2,000 square foot building is going to work now when you really need your vision is a 10,000 square foot building. So how
Or you swoop in like a buzzard, take out somebody that's on their debt spin,
and then
on their debt cycle. That's
Right.
like, I need a cash out. It's turnkey.
it's
here.
right there.
It's right here. It's
Right.
turnkey. I'll be here for a week with you, man.
Right.
I'm out.
So
And that's
now-
what I done this time.
Yeah.
That's what I done this time. That's how I've been scaling up.
Well, it's because you had the prior experience.
Yeah.
Right. But if
Yeah.
you're fresh and you just have an idea.
Yeah.
Coming in to get another company, it's like,
Yeah.
you might a fish is a little too big for you to cross to hang on. to,
Yeah.
right.
Like whenever I started up over here showcasing my coffee, they're like, hey, this is great. No, what about this is amazing. And then they're like, whoa, what about your business plan? Are you gonna open up a location? You should this. And I'm like, you should, please, because relax. I'm not from Midland. this is why I'm over here showcasing my stuff in Midland now. Now I have a platform. Now I have people that believe in me, that know that I've been these things. I'm like, okay, I've got from point A to B, B to C, C to D, stuff like that. And all of the scaling issues, I'm still building the customer base here in Midland. Now it's to happen. I'm starting to get my regulars in Midland.
Yeah.
You know, more like I'm from Andrew. You know what I'm saying? I've got, 9 years worth of people over there.
Right.
In Midland, I do not have 9 years worth of people. I had some coffee at O'Reilly's for years. Yeah. And then COVID kind of shut that stuff down. And then, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still friends with them. You know, I've brought in here before and like that. And he's like, yeah, the coffee's great. What about this tech stuff? You know, we'll get into some of that. Cause you know, I don't sit on one thing, you know, we're talking about some things with the coffee because he sees it's time. He's like, all right, you've already hit 9. You're about at 9 years. Whenever I started with the music, 1995, 30 years ago this week, 30 years ago when I started, it took me until 2005, 6, 7, was it? 2007 before I ended up deciding I was going to invest in more equipment and took out some DJ stuff.
Right.
And it took until from 2007 to 2000 to 2010, 2011, start being busy every weekend. Think about it. That's 15 years, 16 years.
Yeah.
Because I stuck it out. And then I was a go-to guy. And then I was years for a long time, for years. But it took all of them years to be the overnight success.
Right. I like, right.
To be that overnight success.
Put it in the groundwork, right?
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I'm doing here, because I remind myself from the prior experiences, from the past lives that we've talked about. And we're like, okay, there's no reason for me to take out a billboard right now. There's no reason for me to go take out a business loan and this, that, and the other. Like, hey, you got any grants? You know, I'm smart enough to understand, hey, man, there's some free money out there. And there's some that I could go sit and talk with and trying my business into their business and stuff like that. And that's the thing that I've been working on this year.
Yeah.
Building my Midland customer base, scaled up, got bigger equipment, still not in over my head. You know, divorce took its toll on me, all that stuff. So I'm not even going to really get into that, but restarting your life from scratch is for the faint heart.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Not for the faint heart. Now, when God says, get rid of it all, everything, even the way you think, the way you talk, the way you dress, the way you act, not just your material possessions, not just your people, places, things.
Yeah.
In here, that. If I wasn't willing to submit to that, there is no new life. And that's when I popped up in the Midland. I was on that mission. Like, all right, first year I got together.
Yeah.
Now, next year, okay, I'm going to get my financial and business affairs back together. And I'm in that year 2 now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're going to look at what year 3 is like, because I've only been here for 23 months living in Midland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to some, they think, yeah, you're there. I'm like, whoa, man, there's some horsepower. You back there, slow them. And I could get excited. I could get excited and take their monies and this, that, and the other. But I have to take a step back and say, hold on.
Yeah.
I've been here before. I've done it before. Yeah. I've lost amounts of money. Don't get me wrong. I've pulled of dollars of contracts, of sponsorships, all kinds of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared, but I'm a lot more cautious than I used to be. You know, 46, turned 46 the other day. Gotta be more cautious and move more calculated, and
for sure,
you know, go through it. Because if not, man, I could make a disastrous decision for not just myself.
Yeah,
you know, it's one of them things. Because rent costs, light costs, food costs, supply chain, and all that stuff. The logistics keep changing on everything. You know, when I started buying coffee in 2016. It was to buy it roasted than it is to buy it is to buy whole bean now. A finished product of whole beans. To buy roasted whole bean compared to what the green. I gotta roast myself.
Yeah.
It's gone up that much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that just because so many people are doing it, or what's the?
Yeah. Between that and then, of course, so-called shortages and global supply chains and tariffs and famine and stuff like that. There's always going to be some new toilet paper shortage. You know what I'm saying?
Is there a
Type of
difference
effect.
in when it's shipped? If it's already roasted or if it's the raw?
I'm only going to buy green now.
Right. But I'm saying because it's more expensive if it's raw,
No. If it's already roasted.
Right. Oh, okay. I misunderstood you. All right. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like back then, if I was in roasted coffee, it would be like $7 a pound. Roasted. Already to a T, already to my specs, stuff like that. When I first started just private labeling, it was like $7 a pound. Now go try and find you some green that's $7 a pound. Some really good stuff. It's not happening. It's not happening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not. It's. I mean, shoot. I used to buy it. It's gone up since from 2023 to now 3 times, and I haven't gone up 1 penny because I own all of my stuff. I own everything.
Wow.
I own everything. So I hadn't had to move up in price since 2019. 2019 is the last time that I went up in price. And it's been 6 years and the price is going up, but not my price. Because I own everything, kind of like the Arizona tea. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Them guys didn't have to, for a long time. They were one of the last. So I know they've up some now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But they were 99 cents forever.
Forever. Yeah. It was the biggest steal. Yeah. And I mean, 99 cents, you can't no more. No. The inflation's up way too much, you know? Yeah. The coffee prices have gone up 300%.
I mean, the dollar store ain't even got nothing for $1
no. You find 35-cent gum,
man. So you've mentioned for like a lot of different. You just could have threw them out there. Ring announcer, the fight, premier fight, right? So tell us about the fighting.
The fighting's amazing. I love it.
Like, how'd you get there?
I've been an announcer this year for 17 years now, professionally.
Wow.
17 years professionally.
Wow.
Back then it was called cage fighting.
Right.
There wasn't the UFC wasn't the $8 billion signed streaming deal the other day type of company. It was not that.
Yeah.
It was still for the taking. There was I don't think thought there was like shark fights was big and different places. WEC I think was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there were some other ones, but like their logistics and their some stuff were like they had stigma because it got banned at a lot of places.
Right.
And then the different combative sports commissions in different states were banned it until they streamlined it. So it was still real raw and barbarian type. The first tickets I ever sold to any combative sport, they were called shoot fights. This was back in 1998.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1998 was the first time I got to sell for any kind of combative sport. 1998. Yeah. So that was the first time I got to help somebody promote.
So you got into it through the promotions.
You know what I'm saying? Because because I was it 97, 90? Yeah, it was 98. Because I worked at a Radio Shack and we were the ticket for Andrews. And I was selling music out of Radio Shack back then. They used to have this deal called Southwest Distribution. And that was the based out of and they would sell season tapes and records and whatever.
Yeah.
They were the big distributor before everything went to MP3s and MP4s and streaming and they took it from them guys. They were of the music machine back then. Well, whenever I worked there 30 years ago, they ended up having the Southwest Distribution catalog. I would get to order different tapes or CDs. And I remember when Bones Crossroad came out as a single, I told my boss, I said, order 50 of these. I could sell them all this week. And I was able to hustle a lot of CDs. I was able to drive a lot of traffic because I was a hustler, baby.
Right. You say to steal and regulate?
Yeah. No. This was but it was 96 when Crossroads came out.
Yeah.
So whenever she went ahead and took a chance and ordered 15 of them, and I got mad. And, I'm 16, so
No, 50.
50, no, 50. And she was, and then the other lady that worked with me, Francie, she said, "No, she didn't believe you. She just, and we sold them all that day."
Yeah, I bet.
When they hit,
Yeah,
it was,
when they
I
hit.
got on the phone, and then people would just come and they're like, so she didn't take me lightly because I could sell some music. I already had a record of I'm a hustler. I know what I'm talking about at a young age. So whenever different promotions would come in to sell tickets, she would ask me, "Ben, you think you could sell some of these?" Because she know when I get on my hustle, I'm gonna be on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'll light up the phones or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in the streets with fires and that's what I've done since 95. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that grind.
Right.
So I put the shop in 96, 97, whenever I first made my first CDs and was selling them out of there. And different promoters come through to come sell their stuff. DJ Slow Motion, right? His CD, may he rest in peace.
Yeah.
And they ended up, this guy come in and he was a guy with long hair. And he's like, "Man, I hear this is a spot. Who do I need to talk to? I got these fights coming up called shoot fights." And it was still real raw barbarian type of, it wasn't Tough Man, because Tough Man was still going on around the era, but it was a shoot fights. And he was like, "No, it's more like the Ultimate Fighting Championship." And that's what everybody called it back then. "Oh, it's like the ultimate fight in the cage fights type of deal, but this is how we're going to do it. This is how it's legal in Texas. It's more pancration." We're like, "Can they hit each other? Like karate guy get in there with the boxing guy?"
Right.
Like, yeah. It's, man, "Oh, can you sell the tickets?" And I told him, "Man, yeah, go ahead. I'll sign up for them." And then whenever my boss came through, I was like, "Hey, I picked up these tickets."
Yeah.
And she was like, she knew I could sell it, but she was all, "You should let me know next time."
Yeah, for sure.
But I had already made a track record. I'm good for my word. So
Right.
I helped that sell the tickets. I went and watched them fights and stuff like that. So I was always intrigued with, that fight stuff.
Yeah.
Down the road, I was, had made a name for myself as a promoter. I'm doing the clubs, I'm doing the concerts, I'm doing the car shows, I'm helping other groups get out there. I'm mover and shaker and helping people networking and stuff. Pre-social media.
Right.
Pre-social media. So it was a big deal.
It was ground game.
It was ground game. Oh,
that
nobody,
was it.
Ask
Right.
Angel.
They don't
Didn't nobody
understand.
have my ground game, baby.
Right. You were everywhere.
Nobody my ground game.
Yeah.
Because I would get on the phone, I'd look at the flyers, I'd look at the CD covers, I'd call people. I wasn't afraid to email people. I wasn't afraid to call somebody that knew somebody that would give me your number and stuff like that. Like
that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Right. You had to. Right.
You had no way around it. There was no way around
social media. There's no slipping in somebody's DMs.
Nah. You wouldn't because like, "Hey, I look good," and I post a couple of pictures.
Right.
You had to clout the hard way. You had the hard way back.
And everybody was doing that. CDs.
Everybody, but that from 1995 for me and whoever else. There was a few of us way back then. Oh shoot, Kinfolk Records, 1,000 grams.
Bro, South Park Mexican.
South Park Mexican. I'm 96. He tried to sign me in 96. In 96, South Park Mexican. I ended up becoming his wife's manager down the road.
Already.
Yeah. Little did you know.
No,
but
I
anyway,
didn't know.
yeah. So that's how
because South Park himself was a man. He did it hard. He did it harder than anybody.
Yeah. He got like a Universal and stuff like that, and it was from that ground
based on his ground game.
Based on the ground game.
So you said car show, right? So like you ran the Super Tejano car show, right?
For 8 years, yes.
For 8 years, and that's where I met South Park.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
When I met him, I didn't even know who South Park was.
Nobody did,
and he just came up to me. "Hey, listen to this."
Yeah.
Puts the headphones on. I'm like, "All right, that's dope."
Yeah.
That's dope. And he was just pushing.
Yeah.
Like, "All right, I would."
Yeah. Was it at the show where Quad City DJs was at, and he was passing out the tapes in the corner?
It might have been, bro.
1996.
November
1996.
Wow. It had to been around that time.
Yeah, because he came that show and he said, "I'll take any MC." And Pride Nico, I'm 16, got my little girlfriend, so I go chase him down. I'm like, "What's up, man? What's up? Let's battle, whatever." And he was like, "Oh, man, y'all flow for." He had 50 people, 100 people standing there. He's passing out tapes and signing headshots and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then I flowed for him. But it was like, "Hey, man, get his number." We had some dialogue for a minute there. You know what I'm saying? And I was 16 when that happened. So that was at that Quad City DJs.
Okay.
This was before, and I was like, in order to get that guy, because I saw people just run to that dude, run to that dude. I was like, I gotta get on that main stage. And then they would have the summer show, and they would have the talent show.
Right.
So I met Brandy.
Ah.
In 2001 was whenever I'd done a show with her.
Yeah.
But that was my first time. The only reason I ever got to touch the main stage was because of her. And then the promoter of the show, he had saw how I had conducted myself and made my way up there and, you know, was able to make a splash. He was like, hey, man, I want you to come work for me. You do the same thing that you've done over there.
Right.
For your hustle, but you're going to do it this way, and I'm going to show you. And he put my CD, and he put it up on the top. I was like, you ain't gonna listen to it? He's like, you know how many CDs I get, bro? It ain't about that. Let me show you something else.
Right on.
And then he showed me about the clout game and politics and the gatekeeping. And he had to be a whole lot of big trust in me with a whole lot of things for a lot of years.
Yeah.
And we went through great times, and we went through some hard times. And you know what I'm saying? I always wish the best for him, because I mean, I come from that lineage.
Right.
Got nothing bad to say about him or anybody over there. You know what I'm saying? My kids are related to the dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
no. Yeah. He put in so much. He did so much work for some men, and that show.
Gosh.
That show was epic,
bro. SPM wouldn't have blew up like him.
Right.
You know,
100%.
and that's one of the things, like with the fight world. People that saw what I was doing with him, they was like, I want you to come do that for me at these fights.
Right.
Come help these guys out. They don't know what they're doing. So I was like, all right, man, y'all gonna pick me up, man. You know, young thug. And the show, he comes, picks me up, and he goes, man, I hear you're the man. You know, I hear a lot of great things about you. Everybody I ask about you says you're the guy to go to. So
here I am.
Here I am, bro. Like, I'm tired of hearing your name. I'm tired of hearing your name. You know, I'd like to make you an offer, and you know, go. And it was like, all right, cool. Check it out. You know, go see if I like it. And his name's Brian Pierce. He owned the original Rough House MMA. And Rough House MMA is still going to this day.
Already.
All right.
Yeah.
Through Des Hill and all them. That's his lineage and all that.
Okay.
Well, Brian, I came and I helped him out with the show, and then I helped these other guys out with the show. We're the first one with him. You know, I had to guide Brian to the success. Like, oh, I got the Coliseum, this, that, and the other, the big old dream that we talk about, very expensive. And whenever you know it, whenever you see a promoter, if show's not going, like if it's gonna cost them some money and they ain't gonna make it back, you know it when you walk in the door. You see it on their face, man. You see it on their, you know. And I saw it, and I was, you know. And went on to the next show. Somebody else had pulled me in. We sold that show out, sold the next show out, and I had saw at Brian's weigh-ins. He had all the fighters in there. I'm at my first weigh-ins, and I'm thinking everybody's gonna be crunk, and they're all shaking hands and hugging each other and take pictures with each other. And I'm like, what? We don't get that in the rap world. Like, I kind of this. I kind of like this. They're all cordial, and you know, you might have a couple of people that are really intense and stuff, but they was like real laid back. I was like, man, y'all want to go to the bar? Let's go to the after party. And they're like, we fight tomorrow.
What are you talking about, bro?
What are you talking about? That was always a running thing, because I'm already full blown, bro. I'm on the radio all the time. I'm doing shows everywhere. I'm chilling with Grammy and Oscar award winning artists all the time. And no, what do you mean? You know, these guys are disciplined and eating right, and weight, and they're responsible. And didn't nobody had no money, so they see me running around all flashy, and they're like, hopefully he brings some money. Little I did, and I would bring bigger shows. And I always saw how they respected each other. I always saw how they respected each other, and it was a small world. So I was able to help build back from then, 17 years ago, and little by little, to help them get a bigger platform. And I always took that. You know, I always took that very seriously when they were like, man, I'd love to get on a show. I'm like, bro, that's all you gotta do. I'm not the gatekeeper, but we hired another little gatekeeper. And he'll let you know the rules of engagement. I'm gonna let him know, hey man, I got my dude, man, do the best, because he would matchmake for us to protect us from ourselves.
Okay.
And make sure that they got their physicals, and that they were who they say they were, their training, and we're not overpaying people or underpaying people.
Right.
He knew how to fill people out. He had been in the fight world since he was like 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
He is a professional fighter. He fought Tank Davis before. Tank Davis retired the dude. But anyway,
that's another story.
That's another story. You know what I'm saying? But he had Johnny Bedford from the UFC, his camp. He had man, he knew all these big people in the fight world from the DFW and all that stuff. So whenever we brought him in, not only did it add us credibility with the DFW, with the Dallas Fort Worth scene when we're doing Premier Fight Series, like, because they didn't know who we were, but they knew who he was. And I had watched him from the MySpace days. When I met him, when I met Rafael Casillas, I had him because I got his number from MySpace, because I had messaged him. I was like, hey, do you know this guy? Because he owed me money. He was like, what a coincidence. This dude owes me money too. Because he had burned a lot of people from a show over here in Midland, and there weren't no fights around here for a while because he had burned everybody, bro. He had burned me. He had burned him. He burned Johnny Bedford's brother. He burned all these people. So he was known in that world. So small, you don't burn people. So he was kind of skeptical of me. So whenever I go up there with my cousin John and his uncle Jesse, we sit down and he's looking at them and all that stuff. And he goes, who are you? You ain't got no money. They got the money. What are you doing here? It's like, bro, don't worry about it. I'm the sales and the marketing guy. Bro, that first fight that we threw, we had over 2,000 people at the Fort Worth Convention Center. Then you couldn't rent the Fort Worth Convention Center without being verified. You had to have your references and all that. And that lady, she was all, oh man, Ricky, people, did you just see a fight here recently? And I was like, oh yeah, I went and watched Paulie Ayala's boxing over here a few weeks ago. And she goes, yeah, that happens a lot. People, they come check out a show, and then all of a sudden they're promoters. They end up, hold on. Yeah, I had to, pop at that, but I was like, okay, so what are your requirements? She said, I said, okay, so you need references, right? She was like, yeah. I said, well, where do you want them from? You want them from New York? You want them from LA? Where do you feel you're comfortable with my references? Because I can name drop, baby. Let's do it. So she was like, oh, you you've worked in Odessa at the Coliseum? I was like, yeah. You want to call Pat? I could call Pat for you. Who do you want me to call from there? You want me to shoot? I get the mayor to call you. I am who I say I am. Stuff like that. Because you can't just rent this place. You cannot just go rent this place. They have to check hardcore. Have you been a promoter and all that stuff like that? So she said, all right, have Pat call me, and I'll have you application in about a week. About 5 minutes later, I get off the phone with Pat. Pat calls her. She calls me back all within 5 minutes. And she says, I already submitted your contract to you. It'd be nice to work with you and stuff like that. Because I had already had all these years of doing good business. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm a young guy, but I've been in it for a very long time. You know, it was like, I know what I'm doing. So we had a big show there. We ended up working a deal with the CBS corporate up there, where they're showing us during the Rangers games and stuff like that, during their commercials and all kinds of cool stuff. We got a billboard downtown Dallas, and they ended up saying our main event was one of the top fights to see July 2012 worldwide by Sherdog. Oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? It was a big deal. It was a big deal. And the ticket outlet people, still alive or whatever and stuff like that, but they were notorious for doing like they wouldn't give you the affidavit of what they had printed and count you all the tickets. So they robbed us. They robbed us for some bread, because we done really good. We sold a lot of them. I show you to be like, hey man, you have made X amount of dollars if this, and I'm like, okay, well check this out. Instead of them counting the stubs, they counted the blanks that weren't purchased. And like affidavit. So they're in the hotel room counting all these bricks of money, and I'm like, hold on, where's this ain't my first go, bro. This ain't my first go, bro. Come to find out, the ticket lady from Odessa, I used to work with her husband. I would see him all the time. And when he heard I was over there working with him, he's like, oh, you're with, yeah. He wouldn't, he's like, oh, you man. He didn't tell me I was going to get got. He didn't tell me I was going to get got. But, whenever I told him I got, he was like, man, that's my wife's employer. And, man, I mean, I've seen some things. I've heard something. She tells me some stuff. And I was like, man, this one's going to hurt. This one's going to hurt. Because I know we had it breaking even, it's a great night. It's a great night. That's a great night.
Break even.
You're breaking even.
Yeah.
You're breaking even. So we knew what we had done. We knew what we were capable of. So we ended up with a TV contract with Texas Fight Night. And then Fort Worth Cats, they had the historic baseball stadium downtown Fort Worth, between downtown and the stockyards, or what is it called? Stockyards?
Yeah, stockyards.
Yeah. So there was a big old historic baseball stadium downtown. So we end up throwing a fight there. We've the TV cameras, all that stuff and everything. But we get a last minute replacement on a fight against one of my friends that I had made called Amber Stutzenberger. Y'all might know her opponent's name now as 12 Gauge Paige Van Zandt.
Van Zandt, yeah.
She's on OnlyFans. She fought in UFC. She fought in Invicta. She fought on bare knuckle, all stuff like that. We were the first ones to put her on TV, make her viral.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like that. Yeah. I put Raphael in the game. We put her in a big stage where people could see her and stuff like that. I told her, hey, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it far.
The BAM BizTalk podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Pachuco's Restaurant. Craving authentic and eclectic cuisine in Midland? Well, Pachuco's has you covered. Located in downtown Midland at the ever so legendary and iconic historic building at 316 North Big Spring Street, Pachuco's blends rich and unique flavors in a conveniently pleasant and vibrant atmosphere. Enjoy the highest quality barbecue, savory tacos, burgers, and a variety of other mouth-watering dishes that reflect the spirit of a true Pachuco cuisine. Real, authentic, and just plain different. Check out their menu at www.pachucos432.com or call 432-218-8806 to inquire, or better yet, just show up and get your shine on. At Pachucos, where heritage, exquisite taste, and hospitality come together for an unforgettable dining experience. Pachucos, Midland, Texas. Now back to the show.
So from that fight, I end up sitting around with this one guy named. He had this show called the Candyman Show. They called internet radio back then. And it was like this back in 2012. I would debut, hey, we're gonna be on, and we would give our fight dates to him exclusively, and he was always my buddy. And he would go to all my fights and do the live interviews and build them up. Now he gets to do the World Cup. He's media for World Cup because he stuck around with it. And I tell people all the time, don't give up, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You don't know what that next door that you're going to knock on, who's going to be behind that door when they open it up. 9 years with the coffee, 15, 16 years with the music before it started paying a lot, ring announcing 17 years all the time. I mean, this is my region. If somebody else is coming in to ring announce a fight, these people are all, I could guarantee you, they not making no money. They're not making no money if I ain't. And I'm going to tell you that. Flights, hotel, plus their fees, plus. You know what I'm saying? I've done it before. You know what I'm saying? I could right now how much this stuff costs. I'll break it down for you, baby. And I love numbers. I love numbers. Yeah. Like XKO's coming in. They're going to be tailgate. My former matchmaker, he whenever he was still matchmaking for us, he asked for our blessing to go work for XKO. Baby, I want to see you do good.
Yeah.
We can't keep you as busy. And then now that we're in hiatus, well, he gets to be there, and he's matchmaking the fights for the tailgate.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they get a lot of sponsors. I wish them the best. The Boosies, they would have their shows. We would rent a booth there and pass out our flyers. And they were so great and so kind to us. I would talk to Chris. I mean, I've got his number still. I wish him the best. I wish them guys the best. I hope that the area comes and supports them guys. I hope all the fighters get the support. I hope they're able to sell a lot of tickets and a lot of sponsorships and stuff like that. But I know how much it costs.
Right.
It's not cheap.
Right.
And man, all I could do is, and I'm hating. I'm not like, oh yeah, coffee this or them fights. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
You got to cut your costs because that overhead, they're coming into a brand new place, a brand new city, a brand new city. I'm a phone call away. I could help. I've stayed relevant in the fight world for 17 years because I don't mind helping, whether it's my show or not.
Yeah.
I'm here to be of assistance. Whenever they call me to go to do Amarillo, man, I'm plug and play. I'm like, this mic, baby.
Yeah.
You know, I'm plug and play. I know what I'm doing. I've done it for a very long time. You know what you're going to get with me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they reach out. If not, I wish them well. I'd love to go check out the show. I'd love to go check out all the other shows that pop up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, because I know how much it costs. I want to see the scene keep thriving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The things that are like, I feel like I was one of the cornerstones or the founders of, or one of the trailblazers of certain things. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see it keep going because I know my lineage, it wouldn't have got where it was without me. It wouldn't have got, there's a lot of people wouldn't have got the opportunities if it wasn't for me. You know? And some of them people are still in the business, like Sidney Walker, Big Sid. He's on tours now. I was the first one to put him on stage, bro.
Already.
Yeah. And then he would bring like Charlie Boy and the Rhino, Third Degree, and all kind of people. You know what I'm saying? You know, whenever me and him were running around back doing the Pop Trunk days, parking lot pimp, and I ran into Paul Wong, Chameleonaire, and they were like, you know Sid? Yeah, I know Sid. I put him on stage for the first time. They're like, well, you got to be people because he's good people. I'm on his mixtape and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we would co-sign for each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On a lot of things and keep each other relevant and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we knew what it took. And now he's on world tours because of it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He's doing A&R for big time people. If some of these people didn't get them the right to let them in, but I was just lucky in at the door. You know what I'm saying? I was lucky to be watching the gate them days. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how other people would have handled them situations.
Right.
Like the Raphaels or the Paige Van Zants or, you know what I'm saying? Who would have been instrumental to making sure that they were able to get there, gotten a lot of great places for a lot of great reasons. I get to hear a lot of stories from a lot of people that show me all the ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it keeps me in doing whatever I want to do. I no longer want to do music. I don't touch. I like making games now. It's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? I've been working on 4 years.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
You know,
That's the tech.
Yeah,
the
tech stuff. Yeah, the tech stuff. It's not. I'm not a one trick pony.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All of these side residual Avon above incomes, these side hustles. I'm the master of side hustles, baby. I'm the master of side hustles. You know, I always got some kind of side hustle. I'd love to build them up and have my one hit wonder, cash out, go to the beach. You never see me again. You know what I'm saying? That's a fairy tale. I hope to live that fairy tale.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What was his name? Colonel Sanders. You know, he tried like me forever.
Forever, bro.
And then he cashed out and then he would just got the wave. Hey, Michael and Bruce Buffer, they were brothers and they were homeless. They didn't even know each other and they picked each other up, bro.
That's wild. Right?
And they helped each other out and they was homeless, bro. They was homeless. They was in the game for forever.
Yeah.
Bruce wasn't nobody for forever. He was just his brother's booking agent for a long time. I remember them days. I remember going to them websites and in the early mid 2000s stuff and seeing that stuff before their story got out there. And now these are like the biggest names in business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they had just kept doing it. They didn't back down. They knew adversity. You know what I'm saying? Not too long ago, I got approached for somebody to, they wanted to buy our metaverse, but finished. I was like, hold on. Yeah, people will come with the tech stuff and they think it's cheap. I'm like, hold on, bro. You know, just because I'm running around, I says a cheap one. Yeah, I sell Rolexes, but they ain't mine. Yeah, I sell Lamborghinis and Ferraris, but they're not mine. You know, you're not going to buy me off cheap because I know what this stuff is worth. I know what this stuff is worth. I know how many man hours we have put in it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
and you want 100% of a finished product. 100% of a finished product, and you're offering 6 digits. No,
Yeah.
you've been in conversations with me where we're asking people for, over $1 million or talking $10 million for this or whatever. And because I know what it's gonna take to get there, And that's just a percentage of get there.
Right.
That's not the full spectrum of it. I was talking to Tom yesterday. He's one of the founders of the Gas Flip Traffic Jam and stuff, like we had got so far on a game without releasing it, called Fate of Aruna. It's on Steam. We've been in the development phase on Steam alone for the past 2 years. You done the Battle Bowl with Shane, Jesse, he's right outside right now and stuff like that. And they've watched our project. They hadn't got their hands on more than just consulting, but I don't take their words lightly, because I mean, these guys know their stuff. They're immersed fully in the gaming world, the mechanics and stuff like that. I mean, Jesse's an engineer.
Right.
He's absolutely brilliant, bro. I'm like a brother. Absolutely brilliant. Shane, he's worked on Gods of War and other AAA massive titles, and they're like, we like what you're doing here, and I think we're gonna scale back because some of the mechanics aren't working out the way we need them to. So I had somebody approach us with a lot of money to finish up the metaverse stuff. I'm like, man, it would be nice, but we need more money than what you're offering.
Yeah.
Because we ain't even gonna be able to get liquidity for any of the tokens. You know what I'm saying? For the actual crypto, because we've we've already created on crypto. We've already got our security audits. We've already them all out. We've already built our own blockchain. We've already built all this infrastructure of stuff. We've got like the payment portals to be able to go from crypto to cash to crypto, peer-to-peer exchanges. And I could go real deep, but we're not here for that. That's another conversation. And we've had these conversations with big time people from Dell, people from Zola, people from Unity, big dogs. We're not talking about somebody on a side hustle. We're talking about like VPs and presidents and CEOs and these big time people. And they're like, man, we love what y'all are working on, develop further and we money for you.
Right.
We got some money for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's when everybody like, hey, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
The coffee's going to take a while. The ringing out said, hey, I'm not eating this year, but man, Kerry Hatley, that's for the UFC and slap boxing.
Yeah. Okay.
He's lives here.
Ah.
You see him every weekend. He'll be in Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia. He'll be in Italy, he'll be in Rome. He's on the BKFC shows of the bare knuckle fights and all.
Yeah.
He's everywhere, bro. And I ran into him at a fight, in Lubbock a couple months ago. And I've known him since day one, 17 years back. I met him back then. And I asked him, I said, Kerry, how long have you been doing this? He said, 34 years. I was like, wow. And I was like, when did you catch your first big break? Because I'm 17 years in.
Mm-hmm.
He said, man, when did you call me the first time? I was 19 years in. And I was like, okay, wow. 15, 16 for my music stuff to really take off, where I'm busy every weekend.
Yeah.
17 years in, and I'm announcing all the time. 9 years in with the coffee, it's still moving.
Mm-hmm.
4 years in with the games. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm bound to have one of these lottery tickets. Something's gonna pop.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I teach my kids and I tell everybody else, you have to have a day one. You can't get to 2 without day 1.
Right.
You can't get to day 3 if you skip day 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm sober now. I don't drink no more. I got 701 days. Man,
that's what's up.
It took 700 days to 701.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is a big deal, because
Yeah,
I don't have that anywhere in my history. And I get to remember the same thing that I tell people. You got to have that track record. You got to have the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go through the ebbs and flows and watch the patterns of these things, not just in your life, but in business.
Right.
What's going on? How does the supply chain change? What about the logistics? Are they implementing AI now? Or you know, and then them are the things that are going on with the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Bro, I'm cool with just making some kind of like Candy Crush bird, bro, cash out, make my, 50 racks a day, ad revenue, bro. And I'm gonna be at the beach and you never see me again. In a perfect world.
Right.
In a perfect world. I'd love to be there. Something's gonna pop, but and staying with it. Because the people that I've known that have been in the business for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry Hadley, 19 years. And he's very, very busy 34 years down the road.
Right.
But he wasn't as busy until year 34. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He's like, man, I only got like 2 years left, bro. It's too much. It's too much. Yeah. It's too much. I'm an old man. They making UFC, making me post all this stuff at the gym here and at the summit there. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's loving it. But he worked his lifetime to get to them moments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like people may barely just be seeing him or barely knowing that he's from Midland. I'm like, man, I've known him for 17 years now.
Yeah.
When I started my journey as a professional ring announcer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just a promoter, but as a ring announcer alone. I got 30 years of promoting something. I'm always on my hustle. I'm always on my grind.
Right.
You know? But one thing I always tell people, you got to be passionate about what you like, or you're going to build yourself a little prison.
Yeah.
Little prison, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Little prison, and you don't want a big prison.
Yeah.
You know,
nah, you don't.
You can start in a big prison and it'll get small. Like whenever I sat down when we got our license for Premier Fight Series back in 2012, we sat down with Big Greg and he'd talk about all these stories of, oh yeah, Tyson this and Holyfield he down and Eddie Hearn, all these big shots. And oh yeah, Don King. And he would tell us some stories, kind of warm us up a little bit. He goes, you know how you make a small fortune being a fight promoter? We'd be all leaned in.
Yeah.
How? He'd be like, start with the big one. Start with the big one. It would shrink on you, man.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that I always brought myself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, I've taken some losses before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've had my eyes poked out. Robbed or misdirected or lied to. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah, but you're gonna be around 30 years. It's gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lie to somebody. I'll be there at 7.
Yeah.
I ain't even put on my shoes yet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm on my way. You know,
down the boat.
Yeah. At least my honesty looks like that, and it's not like, yeah, I got 50,000 for blah blah blah.
Right.
Like people say, can you handle the scaling at whatever? I'm like, hold on. I want 5 mom and pop shop restaurants, maybe 5 mom and pop shop convenience stores on my coffee, and we'll go from there. Let me make sure I can handle it. I can handle my customers and I can handle some new customers.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I get from there to the next, I know what I can handle. Without that, I can't really truly scale myself and understand, can I scale myself? I know what I'm capable of producing, but am I capable of producing?
Right.
Am I capable of producing? We forget that. We just looking at the golden egg, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they see me walk in at first, they're like, man, that's a golden egg. Let me hop onto that, man. We gonna ride that coattail. Be like, hold on. If it was anything but the coffee, let's do it. Because I've got way more experience with that, and I had a way more customer base. I know what to do with it.
Right.
Not with this coffee, baby. That's mine. That's mine. I'm not trying to share it.
Yeah.
But I'm raising it like a child, the way the good kid, and be like, the good kid that doesn't have the trauma and the bad and all that stuff. Like, I don't have any bad experiences with my coffee.
Yeah.
My coffee's been cash positive since day 3.
Yeah.
Even when people weren't buying it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never had to take no L on my coffee, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we forget that. Yeah. I've took L's on other stuff, and I'll do it again.
Right, right.
That's what an entrepreneur does, but not with my coffee. I'm not going to take no L's.
Yeah.
I ain't no L's from day one, and the other ones I've took L's many a time, big L's, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not willing or prepared to do that with the coffee. It doesn't make any sense because I never started it that way, and I'm not going to finish it that way.
Right.
I'm not going to cash out cheap. I'm not for sale. You know, I work with you, but I don't work for you. You know what I'm saying? That's mine. That's mine. The rest of them I work with people. You know what I'm saying? But the coffee, that's mine. I'm taking my time.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to compete with nobody. It's like I believed in if I ever got to start over with any one thing, that was the one that I've actually with. The other ones I've took direction or whatever with other people, not the coffee.
Right.
Not the coffee. Not the coffee. I think I'm ready to start exploring that, and I've talked to explore that. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm ready for that next.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to keep working on it, you know, so I could look like overnight success.
Right.
9, 10 years, 12 years down the road. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, that's one of them things. I just don't want to get ahead of myself and stuff, you know, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Entrepreneurs and small business owners, are you searching for ways of taking your business to the next level? BAM is your answer. We specialize in crafting high-performance marketing strategies that put your brand front and center right in the palm of your customers' hands. Not only can we create a premium website full of features that optimize your social media and digital marketing presence, but we ensure that your brand gets multiple views from your target audience and even those visiting your competition. BAM is your go-to solution in the Permian Basin. But we're not just about digital and social media marketing. We're a one-stop shop offering a spectrum of services, including business mentorship, strategic planning, market research, and access to capital. That's right. We can get you funding to expand your business. With BAM, you're not just getting a service, you're gaining a partner committed to your growth for the life of your business. So why wait? Kickstart your journey to success today. Call us to set up a free consultation and discover how BAM can help your business soar above the rest. 432-247-8840. Call today and get your business launched.
We do.
Yeah. You know, the whole overnight success, right? It took us for an overnight success. Right? You know, it's like the whole Pablo.
Yeah.
You know, it took him 60 years,
You
know, to draw a little hand sketch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody wants it for free.
See, like nobody. Van Gogh, he don't even know that he made it.
Right. He was already gone before
he don't know he made it. Yeah. And his brother kept floating his crazy ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was a crazy brother. I'm the crazy brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I in the perspective, like some of us may never see it, but I'm building. You know what I'm saying?
So that's your why.
Yeah. My why. Well, like the coffee for me, the games is for them. The stuff's not going away. Coffee gonna run out in 40, 50 years. We enjoy these heydays of coffee because your kids ain't gonna be our age drinking coffee. You just it's everywhere. It ain't gonna happen. No.
All right, get into that. Why that?
Now, here's the thing with coffee. Coffee, most people don't understand that they get their coffee from unsustainable resources, unsustainable communities.
Right.
These people are too poor to be able to rotate out the crops, to be able to resustain the nutrients in the soil. Like Haiti, Haiti was produced 80% of the coffee worldwide back in the 1800s, in the late 1800s. Whenever them 7 years hit, whoever knew that this was going to happen to them, somebody knew this was by design. We can pull out the little whatever and start getting Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. But I'm going to tell you the truth about the coffee. I'm going to sound Joe Rogan-ish and then Alex Jones real quick. Somebody by design. What was going to happen? Haiti was the second country on this side of the world that claimed their independence.
Right.
And they didn't look like our independence.
Right.
They didn't look like the people that made our independence. Somebody gave them some coffee to plant and said, hey, check this out. Sucked all the nutrients dry. They're one of the poorest countries on earth because you can't grow anything. There's no gross domestic product homeboy. You know what I'm saying? There's no nutrients in the ground. They get major mudslides and famines, and they can't provide for themselves by design. You know what I'm saying? Somebody let it do unto themselves. It's like I went and put something bad on the streets. We'll say starbursts. Say starbursts are bad for you. You know what I'm saying? We're going to end up wiping the next 3 generations because we're going to give all these kids starbursts, this candy right here. They're going to do it to themselves. Just go put it everywhere. Make it accessible. Make it where it's hip, cool.
Yeah.
All them kids going to eat starbursts. Now, all of a sudden, it's exactly what was supposed to happen by design. Nobody went over there and educated them. They just let them do it. No, man, we just gave them the starbursts, bro. You know, they the ones that had to just bought it from. No, I'm not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Type
Right.
of stuff. So that right there was by design. Now, if you're going into these other places that have the poor economies, Brazil, Vietnam, places in China, then you're not going to be educated. And by design, they're there to fail. Venezuela, we saw what happened. They're oil rich, but they're politically unstable.
Yeah.
You got to have these instabilities for a reason. Resources.
Yeah.
Let them stay unstable.
Right.
Hey, I'm here to build you up. I'm not here to make you unstable, cause you problems, or other people cause you problems. We're here to build each other up. But you've got to understand the divide and conquer of this earth,
Right.
and the forces that we ain't never gonna understand why they do it. It's a chess for them, and we're not, bro. We ain't even a pawn in these people's eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Coffee not sustainable. 7 sucks all the nutrients out. Keep on doing that in the next 50 years. 1 cup of coffee is going to be like $80. $80 in 2016 money. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just, you know, inflation or deflation or whatever economic factors be going on from there. It's going to be harder to get. I've already saw in the past 2 years, coffee prices, raw coffee beans, triple in price. All right. And I don't think it's because like all of these other places are opening up just because we're seeing it. I mean that just because our Seneca curve part is still on the you know going up part, doesn't that it hadn't down and plateaued in a lot of places because we're just talking Midland. Midland, they're popping up everywhere.
Right.
But you know what overtook coffee? Tea. Tea overtook coffee. 2016's numbers, coffee was the big thing. It's already reached its Seneca curve. The price is going up, logistics, blah, blah, blah. Tea's a big dog. Okay. Now you see tea places popping up here and there. All right. You know what I'm saying? The coffee, they late to the game. Yeah. Artisan coffee's not late to the game. Artisan coffee gonna be around. It'll be one of the last ones around. You know what I'm saying? Because cheap coffee's gonna be harder and harder to get. It's gonna be people like me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They be like, man, I can't afford y'all's prices. I might as well buy it from old bougie dude with his long hair. Old Lululemon wearing Ricky. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I got ahead of that curve. Yeah. With being the artisan instead of I'm gonna go put drive-throughs everywhere. Yeah. No. It's the sustainability of that. Yeah. Hold on. The sources, the sustainability, the sources aren't there. Yeah. They're not there for my children. They're not there for my children. If I could get into the beverage world and be established in the beverage world, I can evolve with that. You know what I'm saying? I can evolve with that the way I've done it with the music as an artist to working as a, you know, stage manager to event coordinator to a promoter to, you know, all that stuff, you know, and to evolve into it like the way I done there into I'm a DJ and I'm making all this money on the weekends every weekend. I ain't even home no more. Right. You know, they asking, can't you spend the weekend with us? The whole go watch a movie at Saturday night because you're always booked, Dad. Type of busy. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the track record it takes to get there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I'm trying to make sure that I'm sustainable in the beverage world. If you 1% of the drink world, that right there is $1 billion easy. Easy billion. It might be more. Them were 1995 numbers. $1 billion was 1% of the industry. Wow. Back then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why whenever you see like what used to be InBev, they came and bought. They was like, man, you ain't got enough money to buy Bud, you know, or Anheuser-Busch at 40 something a share. I said, well, we'll give you 58. They were like, and because we thought it would never happen. And then InBev came up with the money. Oh, wow. They came out with the blockbuster beverage deal of all time. Yeah. Of all time. It was like 50 something billion dollars. Wow. And came and bought Anheuser-Busch. Like they paid, massive amounts over the stock, what the stock was going for. You know what I'm saying? Wow. And it was unheard of. Yeah. So protect their investment. What they done was they would see all of these artisan small guys pop up. Like Ranch Water is one of them.
Ah,
Oh man, we just started up and got our logistics, and somebody said, "Swoop, come on." They cash out quick. Boom. That's what I'm gonna do with Trap House Coffee. But anyway,
yeah.
Hey, I would love to. I would love to, but I'd love to be one of the guys that comes in and swoops out other people because I've already done it once. You know, I'll do it again.
Yeah. Well,
Mark my words. It's gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't got the overhead everybody else does. You know, actually, 2 people, but I ain't gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because that's not what I'm here to do. But hey, if you're on your way out, call me. Use some. I could use some more equipment.
100%, man.
You know
so
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
that's kind of my plan. Like when Texas finally legalizes it the
Yeah.
legit way.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. You're already gonna be set up logistic wise.
Set up.
Yeah.
So man, that's how you do. That's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
That's how you skip steps without skipping the steps, right? Because you are
Go buy turnkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. It's operating. It's rolling. You know. So let's roll.
Because I love the ground up because I like learn everything about it, and then you can't tell me nothing about it. We could iron sharpens iron, like I done with the guy from 12 Gate the other day.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, me too. How's your process? Oh, cool. Yeah. And then we got to have a constructive conversation instead of we're like, well, I don't believe in that. We didn't do that. We didn't do that. No, it's not what I do. There's no reason for that because I know him to become him.
Right.
You know, he's got a year on me. He got months on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I respect that because I know how hard it is to get in and to stay in, have longevity.
Yes.
You know, kudos. Proud of the guy. You know what I'm saying? I know how hard it is. And like he was talking about, like, man, customers, they just walk in and they act like what's this drive-through? It's like people are so mindless. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, I experience that. How do I buy coffee from you? I'm right here.
Right.
I'm right here. What is this? Bro, I got it in the truck. It's House Coffee, baby. You know, what you need?
Let's go back to pop some truck.
Yeah. I keep it on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are oblivious, you know? So I have the same battles that he has with the customer base. Like, just drive through. Like, you need an app? Because I'll build an app. I'm already building apps right now.
Yeah.
You know, maybe that'll be my one-hit wonder.
It,
you know, I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know. I'm gonna build a Flappy Bird, bro. Just cash out and be at the beach, bro.
Man,
you know, be that success story, but it won't be overnight success. It's not gonna happen.
No,
it's not gonna happen. I'm being honest with myself and everybody else. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna be an overnight success. So
it's in process.
Yeah. I'll be fortunate enough that my knees and my legs and my hips work good enough to still want to be able to be at the beach when it happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That'll be the lottery in itself to still be able to move around and be mobile and be life and go explore.
Yeah.
That right there, that's a goal. It's like if my body's still gonna be holding up good enough. That right there is a goal.
Yeah.
It's not the money. It's not the fame. It's not the prestige. It's not the look at me. It's not the clout, bro. You know what I'm saying? I want to build for the future for my kids, and I just want to go check out the world, bro.
Yeah.
I want to go fishing. I want to go hiking. I want to go see Petra and Machu Picchu and the Nazca lines and, you know, all this, you know, stuff Billy Carson checking out looks great and stuff like that. And then maybe my kids will build a rocket and go to the moon, but I don't have no interest. I'm here. I got too many things I want to look at here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My goals are completely different than everybody else's. You know, I don't need a big house. I don't need a fancy car, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
None of that, bro.
I've always
just want to go look at stuff, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
I've always said I want to be the block, but look the poorest.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that before too. It was nice. They're like, how come you're always gone? You're home. Be like, because look at your house. You built you a 4-wall prison.
Yeah.
You built you a 4-wall prison. I bought my house in the oil bust for next to nothing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to go put bricks on it to live in it. I didn't have to go take out a big old mortgage to feel like I fit in with the Joneses. I didn't go get the super big expensive vehicles. You know what I'm saying? I bought something new that ran good and I held good up on good.
Right.
Yeah, I got the Denali down the road and all that cool stuff, but we had already enjoyed a whole lot of my kids' childhood. You know, we got to go explore a whole lot. We got to do a lot of cool stuff in them crucial developmental years, and I'm extremely thankful to, that the oil field and people put up with me out there to be able to afford to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that keeping up with the Joneses, man, that's for the birds, bro.
Yeah. No,
But if you want to, I got some stuff for sale. I got a Lambo. I got some Rolexes, a Patek. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I keep them on me, man. Let's go. You know,
already.
but I don't need none of that stuff, man.
Right.
It is for the birds, bro.
Right. So that's your gig, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do now.
My day job is selling, exotic cars and luxury watches. Yeah. And then I always got some kind of side hustle.
Yeah.
I always got some kind of side hustle. Like yesterday they called me from the Midland Hispanic Chamber, and they was like, oh, so and so is having a business mixer educational deal for women. And she was wondering how y'all always had my coffee there. You know, how they always were able to have my coffee there.
Mhm.
And I was like, tell her to call.
Yeah.
Tell her to call.
Yeah.
She's got my business card. She's on my Facebook or my Instagram. Call them up right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm always willing to work with people.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen my machine that I've got all of them and stuff like that. And I'm like, one of the things that I'd seen with the coffee machine, I was like, nobody's doing that. Like when I was DJing, man, dude, there wasn't nobody DJing like that back in the day. Back in the day, they weren't taking the big old speakers and the big old like truss and that. They weren't doing like that. They were like a house DJ at the bar. And I was set up to go throw my own shows before other throwing show. I was throwing in 2000, bro. In 2000.
Yeah.
You know, that's 25 years ago. I was throwing my own concerts.
Yeah.
My own DJ gigs. We go over there and rap, and then we started bringing in other artists and stuff like that. I've been doing it for years before the car show even called me, before Nick even called me, bro. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Back in places, bro. You know, before anybody else was doing it on the regular.
Right.
So whenever I come through and I got all these years of experience, and the clubs are like, man, these guys don't have a place for the hip hop night. I'd like to do some stuff, and they bring their, I was like, I got a system, you know?
Right.
Bring me in. Shoot, I got microphones, I got CD players, I got artists. Pay me.
Yeah.
And
make it happen.
I make it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was already set up for that.
Right.
Thought about that with the coffee stuff. They're like, oh man, it would be nice. I'm like, well, all you got to do is call.
Yeah.
Just using some of the same patterns that I've used before, because them patterns aren't going away.
Right.
Them patterns, I could translate that pattern to and it'll still,
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Getting out and shaking hands and being nice to people and showcasing your product is never going to go out of style.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? So.
And again.
Let's go. And again. You know? So yeah.
Well, Ricky, where can people find you at, man? How can they contact you?
They could call me at 432-266-8960, or they could find me on Facebook or on the Trap House Coffee, or they could find me on my on my website, traphousecoffee.store. They can find me there as well. Tall City Timepieces, Crown Specialty Autos. I was trying to think of the websites for the games, but we've gone back to the drawing board on some stuff. You know what I'm thinking? Candy Crush, bro. And I'm thinking of Flappy Bird. I'm thinking of Angry Birds. I'm thinking of, you know what I'm saying? Instead of these AAA titles, it's like, how about we start with the game, and then we put out that title and market it and do the things that we know we can do with that. And then we could work on another one if that one doesn't take off, if people aren't needing support daily on it. Right. We build something a little bit bigger. And then now we've got our track record, and we've got our portfolio, and then we rinse and repeat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of doing now. That's exactly what I'm thinking of doing now with the game world. So we kind of step back a little bit.
Yeah.
Step back.
Recalibrate a little bit.
Yeah. Because you got to.
Yeah.
You got to.
I mean, especially now, man, because y'all, you started that particular journey like before AI.
Oh, way old before AI. And AI is a game changer.
It's changing.
Yeah.
Man.
Evolving very, very fast.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that evolving very, very fast is a human mind. And
Right.
All right. People are still going to be scared of computers. People are going to be AI. People are going to know the prompts. Dopamine ain't going out of style.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So one thing that I'm talking about the guys is the psychology behind why we're building what we're building. Because my guys are with the AI stuff already. You know, they've been using it way longer than anybody that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're extremely brilliant with it. Now, if we ease them in, if we ease people in with this, and then we'll get to the next one, and then we'll get to the next one. Because we started with the metaverse, and then shortly after that, Facebook started with their metaverse. Ain't nobody on it.
Right.
Sandbox, ain't nobody on it. Hit it with all these other guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you kind of got to pay attention to that stuff. Like, okay, I'm going to ease them in this way. This is what I'm looking at. As long as I could earn people's trust that we're not building a bad product and that we're not taking their metadata and that we're not trying to do all this weird stuff. Let's start here. Yeah. Let's start here. Let's recalibrate. We know we could build all this other stuff. We've already built some phenomenal stuff, some phenomenal tech that nobody has out there.
Yeah.
But don't nobody know who we are. It's like if I went and done the $1 million coffee shop. Don't nobody know who I am.
Right.
They're not going to just walk in the building. You see, you've been here for how many years and people ain't just walking in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do you know how hard it is to be able to get their attention? So I'm going to recalibrate and pick up some of these small projects first. And then we can continue to develop the larger projects that we've already had on board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. While we're building customers' trust, because GTA 6 started at GTA 1. Now they're the most expensive game ever built. I don't know how many billions and billions of dollars that they've been the past 10 years. 10 years in development of this game.
Wow.
That's going to change this stuff. Now what happens whenever comes in? It ain't going to happen too fast because they're not hip to it. I had internet in 1995. People weren't seeing music until 2003, 2004, 2005.
Yeah.
I think like 2005. It took like 10 years before people really started stealing music, Napster and all that stuff, when they started taking into account that that's how it works. Right. People were still using CDs then. You know, CDs lasted from the 80s and so long. We'll see how quick humanity catches up with this. So I figure with the stuff that I'm gonna do is my way in and implement a little more AI as we go. Because we've got some mechanics, we've got some AI stuff that like the characters will fall in love with you, or they'll bet you, they want to fight you, or they're in love with you again. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's some crazy stuff out there. There's some crazy stuff out there.
Right.
You know, so a lot of that stuff it's still developing, and it's the most rapid technological advances that I've ever seen. You know, I've had it to 80s, bro. I've been on computers since 1983 was the first time I was on a computer, and I was on one regularly in my own home since 1988. Yeah. PC, you know what I'm saying? Since 1988, typing in code, and you had to do your prompts, or you weren't going to log into nothing. Right. From 83, logging in on prompts, you know, and then at home since 88, they had the Tandy. You know? Yeah. And man, it didn't even have a hard drive. Right. You know, they were expensive. It was $10 per megabyte.
Yeah, it's wild. Right?
Yeah. It was $400 for a 40 megabyte. And this is $1988, $1990. We're talking, it would have been like, almost $2,000 right now. You got your head slapped off for asking some stuff like that. Yeah. You know, I was talking to my cousin about like why we would get in trouble when we were screaming about, we just wanted this game, or why can't we buy a Nintendo? And then I started doing the numbers like, whoa, it was just yesterday. It would have been like $800 in today's money for a Nintendo. Like, that's why we was getting, you know, whoopings. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're acting like, you know, we got to have it. We're crying and we don't understand. Hey, man, you know how much this costs? And we're just like, God, you know, we don't respect nothing. Right. You know, and there's going to be a group of children that they don't know what it's like to pay for a game, or they're not going what a game is. Right. Because they're going to be fully immersed in something, and it might not be a puzzle. It might just be a sandbox type of stuff like Minecraft. Minecraft is the largest game ever of all time. The most downloaded, most profitable game of all time is Minecraft. 350 million plus downloads.
Wow.
350 million plus. You know what's number 2? It's called Block Blast. Now, let me tell you about Block Blast, the history of Tetris. Started off as a arcade game, and then it moved on to Nintendo. And then from Nintendo, they made the Game Boy to make the portable.
Right.
The first interchangeable one. The game that it came with was Tetris. Because people love Tetris.
Right.
That right there, to date, it's like 70 million copies of Tetris have been sold worldwide. Block Blast, the next evolution of Tetris.
Gotcha.
So it's Tetris, but with a new game mechanic. You'd be like, why didn't they come up with this before? And it's so there's 300 million downloads, quicker than any game ever of all time. Their revenue monthly is $600,000 to $1 million revenue monthly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Them are God numbers, bro. If you're thinking of like, what are the game gods? What's the Mount Rushmore of? You can't put it on there at 300 million downloads, bro. You know, Minecraft is automatically on there. You know what I'm saying? You know, this surpasses all the Marios combined, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
GTA is up there in God mode numbers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, if I have a choice to build something that's low poly, okay, here's 2 examples of the top two most successful games, most downloaded, most known about games ever of all time, where I could build this massive monstrosity of a video game that's going to be a GTA. I don't got billions of dollars, but you know what? I could build a low poly, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I could build something like that's affordable, manageable, gets me off the ground, starts building the track record, starts letting people know I exist and all that stuff.
Right.
So I'm not building the GTA 6 no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I'm not saying that I'm never going to. I'm not going to say we don't have it. I'm not saying that
starting off the bat.
The one we're gonna launch and stick to our guns with is going to be a smaller game first, releasing some of the titles that we've been working on for years.
Yeah.
You know, that we do have a lot of the stuff working, that we do like a lot of the stuff, some of the mechanics and dynamics of it we got to change. And of course, with AI, it's going to help out some of that stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say that none of it will be used. It's just the way it gets used and why it gets used, because it's still not what people think it is.
Right.
You know, to talk to me and you for, like, if it was phone system, like say they're calling and I'm talking Angel. Yeah, you could record a minute or 30 minutes of, or it could listen to a minute, 2 minutes of your conversation, and then it could talk to you.
Right.
But it's not going to be people who know.
They're going to know.
You know what I'm saying? Because I could be like, say it. And AI ain't going to know that.
What?
Say what? AI ain't going to know what I'm asking for. Wait.
Right.
You know, it would be like,
I am
you know, but you know what I'm saying? It's certain mannerisms. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it hadn't got there. Whenever it becomes sentient, then it might say something that we both surprised.
Right. Right.
You know, some of them mechanics where I was talking about could be like, hey, I love you, or hey, I'm here to help you, and then it turns around and stabs your back all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of seems sentient and it has some emotions. We've already seen that. We've already implemented some of that stuff where it shows you it, and it's pretty cool. And like, I don't know that anybody's ready for that.
Yeah.
I don't know that anybody's ready for that. Let's start back at square one, because square one works, and it's time and time again proven. When we started 4 years ago, that Block Blast, it wasn't on nobody's radar. Now it's number 2 all time.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's God numbers, gaming God numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be one of them guys. I like to get my one-hit wonder, get about. You know what I'm saying? Be cool with it. I'll go do something else in life.
Right.
Doesn't hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be overnight success.
Right.
It's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be the the overnight success story. It's not gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put out now
Right.
that's going to ease us into these bigger titles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got lots of irons in the fire, man. You know? Yeah. But that's what makes it great.
yeah.
You know, that's what waiting for one of them, not waiting, let me rephrase that, right? Following along, you're pulling it, you're
Yeah.
molding it, you're forging all of them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you got one of them, maybe two of them, maybe all of them,
Yeah.
right? You know, that's the point, right? You want all of them to pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice. I mean,
Yeah.
it's working for Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
got Boring, he's got Tesla, he's got SpaceX, you know, he's got Doge, he's got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't even talk about all the tech stuff, like our Roku channels.
You got the
Like,
Roku.
you know what
Yeah.
I could go on and on about all my irons in the fire,
Yeah.
man. But man, I appreciate your time, those.
Man, for sure, Ricky, man, for sure. We've been trying to do this for a minute.
For a long time,
Yeah. Well, man, we got to have you back, man. You know, dig in.
I appreciate it.
Dig in on the future of Ricky B.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you got anything to say to the people?
Man, I appreciate y'all. If this one with me, man, I hope you got some insight on what your day one looks like. I hope you insight on how to conduct business and how to carry yourself and how to not give up, how to just stick it. You know what I'm saying? I got 30 years this week chasing this overnight success that's eluded me for 30 years. You know, I've made a lot of money. And I've made a lot of great decisions and a lot of poor decisions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Keep overheads low, start small, go learn it, learn it. If you've been around for them 30 years or any amount of time, man, I appreciate you always being around. Believe it in me, man. I'm gonna let you down. Not gonna give up no time, baby. I appreciate you all.
Already. All right, much love, Ricky B.
Thank you, man.
All right, folks. We'll see you on the next.
All right.